Welcome to MVP TV, and Jake and I are here to take you through a couple of things on a movement screen. A movement screen for a team is a little bit different than a movement screen for, say, an individual. For most of us, we don't have the staff of 7 people that we can do. We can take a whole week to do all 7 screens for the FMS. So what we've done is kind of break it down in terms of team-wise, what you can do, and that takes very little time to do. I can do a team of about 100 in about 45 minutes. It really doesn't take that much time, but there's some different things that we have to be aware of. Number one, we break it down into 3 to 4 screens. 3 to 4 of their screens, but we're going to be a little bit more objective in what we're looking for so we can get the most feedback out of each screen, because we can't get all 7 screens in. So that's why the difference is screening teams and screening individuals totally different. Okay, the one that we get the most feedback from is the deep squat. Okay, so I'm going to let Jake kind of give you the front view, and then we'll get the side view. The side view is where we get the most information from. All right, so what we tell our athletes is put the dowel on top of the head. Feet should be straight ahead and shoulder width apart. Okay, and we'll widen the grip or narrow the grip based on this 90-degree angle. We want a 90-degree angle between their elbows. All right, and then all we tell them for direction purposes is to press up, lock out your elbows, squat as low as you can without falling to 90 degrees, and then hold until I say stand up. Okay, so he's going to give you a front view of this. All right, good. Just by looking at his front, if you go ahead and give me another squat right there. Looking at the front right there, you'll notice his knees are far beyond his feet. So those are a couple of cues. Now, the real information, go ahead and stand up. Let's go to the side view. Okay, real information comes from the side. So we break the deep squat down a lot different than the FMS. Okay, I'm just going ahead and tell you that. All right, and these are some really good cues that you can use. So go ahead and squat. All right, so we break it down from the bottom up. All right, so our scoring is the same thing as FMS. FMS, go ahead and stand up. I don't want you getting tired here. Our scoring is 0 if you're injured and can't perform, and 3 if it's perfect. We rarely give a 3, and we break it down in terms of how many dysfunctions do they have along from the ankle all the way up to the thoracic and shoulder region. Okay, we break it down. We have to make notes on this one, okay, because it leads to more tests if it gets really janky in there. I mean, if there's more than 3 or 4 acronyms, we have an A for the ankle, we have a K for a knee, H for a hip, V for valgus, L for lumbar. If they're overextended or they're underextended, meaning their chest is beyond their knees, and then thoracic region, meaning is the bar in front of my head. Okay, so if you would, Jake, let's do this. Let's bring them through the whole routine. All right, let's give them an A. Let's give them an A. So we've already given the instructions. We're going to show you what A looks like. There it is, right there. A means he's going to have his heels off. If I rock him back, he's probably going to fall. Okay. I'm going to give them a cue. I'm going to give them a cue of, can you get your heels on the ground? And if they get their heels on the ground and their hips go a little bit higher, that tells me they have tight ankles. So I'm going to give them an A on the notes. Tight ankles. All right, stand up. Now the next one we look for is knee or hip, which is knee and hip are both related to one another. And in order to kind of see that, we usually use the front view of, is the knee going in? Let's give them a valgus. Okay, usually valgus or knee inward rotation is usually related to a lot of lack of hip strength. Okay, so that'll be a V on our notes. Okay, and we'll include this in all the blog posts that we have. So that's our V. We usually include that in the H. All right. V and the H to me is the same thing. All right, and then now we're going to go to the lumbar. Let's get back to the side view. All right, so lumbar is going to be right there. His shoulders are down. If he sits back, his hips are probably going to raise up, or he's going to fall back and lose balance. Okay, so that's an L. That means shoulders beyond the knee. Okay, so you really, what ideal looks like with the lumbar is you want them from knee all the way in here. Okay, there's your region. You want to be there to here. All right, stand up. That's our L. Okay, and athletes can have all of these. Just to be quite clear. All right, and then we go to our thoracic region. Let's give them an overextension right here. This is another L. Overextension with the lumbar. Sorry.
Oh.
With the lumbar, it's really hard. Females have a big time tendency. Stand up a little bit, and that'll help you be overextended. Yeah, there's the overextension right there. That U shape is not a good shape. Okay, we don't want that. All right, females have a tendency to do this. All right, stand up. Now let's get into our thoracic. So now that would be our L. Okay, and now we're going to go to our thoracic or shoulder region. Thoracic and shoulder can be looked at the same way to me in this room. All right, he's going to squat, and his shoulders are beyond his head. Okay, they're in front of his head, and if I tell him to get back, one is probably going to go and the other one's going to stay. All right, or those shoulders aren't, that thoracic or scapular area isn't turning on where it needs to. Okay, so stand up. So those are all the acronyms that we use on the deep squat. That's how it's different than the FMS, because like I said, we only do 3, sometimes we even do 2 with the team, depending on how many kids we have. But this is going to give us the most feedback for, the most bang for our buck, so to speak, and all the dysfunction that we have. And then after we get that done, what we do is score them. So for every acronym they have, it's going to be a 0.5 off the points. Totally different than FMS again. So they can get down to a 1, that's as low as we're going to get if they participate. And then they're going to have the acronyms. And then what we do at the end to show some of the team dysfunction, this is how it works as a team, is we add up all the A's, we add up all the hips, we add up all the lumbar, we add up all the thoracic, we add up all the shoulders, and we see where the dysfunction lies with our team. So if they have hip dysfunction, usually that's a good indicator that we need to work on adduction and abduction and a lot of lateral movement to help us stabilize. A lot of isometric squats, a lot of hip bridges. All that's going to give us good information into bringing us to actually building a program for our team. So that's where it starts. All right, let me